I'm dead man.
Ooh, you are a dead man.
Mm-hmm.
That's spooky.
We're gonna finish off these joints around this fire. Welcome to a very special episode of the Natural Habitat Podcast. We are filming this. It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning, right near the witching hour. We're outside behind the studio, in the middle of Hollywood. We have a fire. You can hear the crickets. I believe that's what these are.
And the fire crackling.
Mm-hmm. That's proof. That's
that
proof that
fire
we're
is
around
the
the
weed.
fire. Mm-hmm. That's just a bunch of weed that we have on fire, and that's how we smoke weed around here.
Yep.
So for all you people out there that are just packing your last bowl to listen to the podcast, just know that we have piles and piles of weed that we are burning and wasting, mostly. But we hope that you still love us here at the Natural Habitat Podcast. My name is Mikey Booyah.
My name is Spooky Dead Joint Smoking Man.
And we are here today because it's the beginning of October. It just started. We did an episode recently, but that came out on October 1st. But we decided that it wouldn't be right unless we were actually recording in the month of October. Right? Was that the discussion, or did we forget?
I don't know.
I'm not going to say that we forgot that it was October 1st, that we were going to drop it, and we didn't mention it. I'm just going to say it didn't feel right. And now it does. This is my favorite fucking time of the year, by far.
At least.
And this joint is my second joint of the night since we've been sitting here, at least. Just since we've been here around the fire. And I'm very high. I'm feeling very good. So we figured that today we would bring in this evil time of year, go to Halloween Town, as Joey mentioned earlier, by telling some ghost story. I have some ghost stories actually, and I'm gonna attempt to scare you, Joey.
Oh shit!
As well as you, the listener.
I'm ready.
This campfire is like really peaceful. This campfire
I know.
and this
You got me
joint.
in a trance right now.
I feel like we both have a very laid back, like stone man demeanor. We're not talking nearly as fast or as much as we usually do. I feel like it slowed us down. Maybe in a good way?
I think it's great. I think it's the future of the...
You think every podcast should have a crackling fire in the background?
Yeah. You know, it's like...
That's not a bad idea.
He's got the between two ferns. That's a cool idea.
Yeah.
Plants probably like are cool. Feel like a mini jungle, whatever. Just like chilling between two ferns.
And it does something. It does something to your body.
Yeah, we could be the podcast around the campfire.
Yeah. Every episode.
Every episode for October.
At least.
Maybe further.
Is that a reoccurring thing? Was that a callback? Did you say at least earlier?
It is the winter. Coming soon.
The winter or the winter?
Both.
Nice. I can't wait. Personally.
Yeah.
I can't wait for either of those things.
Yeah, me either.
So, I have some graham crackers and some marshmallows and chocolates and stuff that were provided by Brent and Grant, the two Dales. They came in, brought us some stuff, so we're going to cook up some s'mores in a little bit. But before we do that... Ooh. We're going to start a forest fire out here.
I know.
Yeah. Before we do that, I got a little ghost story.
Well, I got my McDonald's Halloween bucket full of candy, sitting here waiting, just listening.
Yeah? All right. Yep. Well, feel free
I like the ghost one.
Feel free to consume the candy while you hear this ghost story. You ready?
Yep.
All right. Long time ago. Shit, I don't know. I feel like I wanted to start like 3 ones at the same time. Okay. Long time ago. There was a couple, high school kids, went up to Lookout Point, making out in their car. They almost had sex. They heard a weird noise. They drove away. They got home, got out of the car. There was a hook Wait, did I tell you that they were listening to the radio? And that they heard about a man with a hook that had escaped from a mental institution?
No.
That happened earlier when they were in the car on the
shit.
way up the hill. And then when they got home, they found the hook and they were like, dude, this is the same guy. This is the same guy. This is the same guy with the hook. That's crazy. He almost got us. Oh, shit.
Great ghost story.
I know. They only get better. They only get better. So, I'm fucking crying. That was good. I'm crying out of fear. Out of fear of,
That's a fucking scary story.
fear of ghosts.
I'm scared of hooks. So.
Man, I don't know how I knew that. I came right out of the gate. Right out of the gate with one of your biggest fears. Would you say top 3?
Maybe.
Well,
Possibly. Top 5.
I'll take it. So you mentioned your McDonald's Halloween bucket.
Yeah.
I remember I had a lot of those when I was a kid. That was the only way to do it. And what are some other things that you remember from your childhood? Halloween time. What brings back these nostalgic memories? These member berries, as they're called.
I got a great member berry.
Yeah.
Member?
I don't know. You didn't say it.
Okay, so when I was little, we would go trick-or-treating and we'd fill up these pillowcases full of candy. And then, by the end of the night, we'd be allowed to have some. And then it would get taken away from us and, be put up where she thought we couldn't get it or whatever. My mom would, hide it, And so we would have to, go to bed or whatever. And they'd be sitting on the couch, watching TV super late. And we would, crawl down the hallway behind the couch. And then, into the kitchen. And then, up on top of the refrigerator. And grab the candy. And take it back to the room. All crazy, super slick, like ninjas. And at a super young age. That was a good memory. It was stealing our shit back and doing whatever.
And then it's just all gone in the morning, and they're like, hey, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I want to say that I put a lot of candy up here because I was going to eat that.
It's gone.
That reminds me of another ghost story that I know.
Oh, shit, I'm ready.
Yeah. All right. Well, this one is about a kid that had very strict parents growing up, right? So he would go trick-or-treating every year, but they wouldn't let him eat the candy because they told him that it would rot out his teeth. So every year he would come back from trick-or-treating and they would take the candy from him and just send him to his room for the night. Go brush your teeth, go to bed. His dad was a dentist or some shit. We'll say that. We'll throw that in there. And one night, the kid snuck down, just like you did when you were a child, and tried to go down into the living room, find out what they did with the candy, and get himself some of that sweet, sweet candy. Well, he goes down there, and he finds his mom and his dad on the couch, eating.
Bang.
No.
Oh.
Not yet. That's coming, though. Eating his candy. All right? They're both sitting there macking candy, throwing fucking Tootsie Rolls into each other's mouths, and then they start banging. So he gets so upset by this that he murders his parents. All right? Eats whatever candy they didn't eat. But that wasn't quite enough candy. You see what I'm saying? So he actually cut open his parents' stomachs, took out the candy that they had eaten that was partially digested, and ate that shit too.
Oh.
And then he found a whole nother bag of candy in the cupboard, and he was like, I didn't even have to eat my parents at all. I took this way too far. I remember. There you go. That's it. That's the whole story.
Damn.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
That's scary.
I actually saw that in a movie. Can't take credit for it.
Do you remember the McDonald's toys that were chicken nuggets?
Chicken nuggets, McDonald's toys?
Yeah, and they would dress up like Halloween characters. Remember?
I think I do. I think I slightly...
Number 11?
Let's see. Yep, I remember these. They're almost like a bootleg. I remember. They're like a bootleg Mr. Potato Head.
Yes, sort of.
Yeah, that's so that was on page 11 of our camping guide book that we were given.
Natural Habitat's Guide to a Halloween Apocalypse.
Say that one more time.
Natural Habitat Guide to a Halloween Apocalypse.
Sweet. I got this little creepy noisemaker.
What else? What'll happen if I say it 3 times?
I don't know. Find out.
Natural Habitat's Guide to a Halloween Apocalypse.
That happened.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't make the rules. I just think them up and write them down.
Alright. Sounds like a perfect time for a commercial.
Yeah, but speaking on those nuggets real quick, I feel like they should have got sued by Mr. Potato Head.
Why? They're not even like it.
They kind of are exactly like it. It's like you could switch out the things. They look like they're little potato shaped.
No, they're nugget shaped.
Seems a little too close for me. I'd be like, I don't know, guys.
If anything, hash browns should be mad.
All right, I'll give you that. Okay, we're gonna take a break.
Ooh.
Turn around. Show us what you had in your hand when you were arrested.
For Halloween, give yourself a horrifying face in McDonald's. The more you come, the more evil your face.
And we're back. You remember them shits? Did you ever get a fucking Halloween mask in your McDonald's Happy Meal? Because I don't remember that.
No.
I personally do not remember that year.
No, I don't either.
We missed out, man. I think that's what happened.
I know. We always miss out.
Yeah.
It's a recurring theme here.
Trying to catch the caboose? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
All right. Speaking about catching the caboose, that actually reminds me of another ghost story.
Oh, fuck.
Are you ready for this one? You better fucking put on your seatbelt.
All right.
Here it comes. You ready?
All right.
I need you to audibly say that you're ready.
I'm Reginald.
Okay. So, there was this man that moved to America from a foreign country and was all by himself in New York City. And, he came from a small town, a village, if you will, and wasn't used to the hustle and bustle of the world and all of the technology that was afforded to him. So after a few months, he starts getting, used to it, gets a smartphone, all these different things, and he finds, somebody tells him that they met this girl online. So he starts going online to dating apps and trying to find someone that he can meet up with and start a relationship, right? So he finds this older woman that, doesn't have a lot of pictures or anything. She's just 61 years old, lives near him, and, likes younger men. So, like men in their 30s. And he's like, that's me. Sweet. Starts talking to this girl. Sets up a time to go meet her at her house. Shows up at her house. And comes to find that when he walks in, there's about 12 cameras, a lot of boom mics, and a gentleman that introduces himself as Chris Hansen. And what happened is this man was slightly dyslexic, and this girl was actually 16 and not 61. He got the numbers flipped around. You see what I'm saying? But he had sexual conversations with her and sent multiple pictures of his penis and butthole to this 16-year-old girl. It was all printed out in Chris Hansen's file on him, and he was arrested and taken to prison for the rest of his life. I don't think that's how it works, but still. Just because I've seen reoccurring people. There was one guy that got busted 3 times by Chris Hansen. Did you know that?
No,
This isn't even part of the ghost story. That's a fact. He fucking busted him, and then 2 months later, he comes into another house, and he's like, "You look familiar to me." And he's like, yeah. You arrested me 2 months ago. Now here I am again. It's crazy. But anyway, dude got in trouble, and it wasn't even his fault. And that's a ghost story. There's really no ghost in it, though.
Yeah, so...
Oh, wait. Did I tell you that the apartment that he moved into in New York was haunted?
Nope.
The apartment was haunted, and he heard, like, weird noises and stuff at night.
Good.
Ghost. There it is.
All right.
All right. I have actually a true story now that I want to talk about that happened close to you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Have you heard about this mysterious death of Eliza Lamb?
Probably.
The girl, there was like security camera footage of her in the elevator at the Cecil Hotel in L.A.
And then they found her in the water?
Yeah, and they found her in the water tank.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for people who aren't familiar with this story, there was this girl.
The video?
Yeah, I do have the video.
Nice.
All right, yeah, I got the video here. But for people that don't know the story, what happened is you could just type in Eliza Lamb video, ELISA LAM, and it was this girl that was, I want to say, visiting she was a Canadian student at the University of British Columbia, and she was in Los Angeles. They found video of her in the elevator, and she was doing all kinds of weird shit, but toxicology reports said that she wasn't on any sort of drugs or drunk, but she did have bipolar disorder. She'd been diagnosed with it, but it looks like someone's like chasing her and shit, and they found her body in the water tank, and it wasn't until people started complaining that the water tasted weird. And the way the tank was, it's like hella tall. It would be hard for her to climb up there herself. And then there's like a heavy metal lid on the top that would be hard for her to lift by herself, and even harder for her to put back on from the inside of the tank, because there's nothing to like stand on in the tank. So you had to have like somewhere to get your leverage, you know what I mean? And they found her in the tank naked with all of her clothes floating in the water, and they just said that she did it to herself. But I got this video. Let me share the screen here. So she gets in the elevator like everything's fine, right?
Yeah, until she starts pushing every button.
Yeah. So she pushes everyone on the elevator, and then she waits. And the door's not closing. She's obviously like hiding from someone. And when she hides in the corner, like, why does the door not close? You know what I mean? Now she's outside the elevator, back inside the elevator, outside the elevator, freaking out. And then she does like this weird fucking thing with her hand. Here. Now she's back in the elevator, pressing buttons and shit. Here's her weird hand thing. All right, watch. She looks like she's like crying almost. Now she's like singing. Did it look like she was almost like moving her hands around like she was like you know how people act like they're like conducting a fucking symphony?
Oh, no, it
Orchestra.
almost looks like sign language or something.
And then her like wrist is all bent weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a horror movie, like when people get all like contorted and shit. And then the door closes after like a fucking hella long time of her being gone. The door finally closes. And then I think it starts going. It starts going like through the floors because she pressed all the buttons. You know what I'm saying? But that's some creepy shit. People still don't really know what happened to this girl. And they made a bunch of movies about it. I saw some movie. It was called like Dark Water, I think.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
This fire's warm.
Right? Here. Let's back up away from it a little bit. There we go. Is that better?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's creepy, man. Creepy shit. You
Scary
should,
stories.
You know what you should do is you should go there and start asking questions. Maybe. So about these scary stories and ghost stories, what do you think it is that? Why do you think we have these stories? Why have people been telling stories like this forever? And they kind of...
I never heard any of the stories quite like these. But yeah,
Well,
I don't know. I think it's part of the. It's just tradition. Everything is tradition. That's why people do it. They do it because of the time of year and all like the traditions that came along with it. You know, like
yeah.
It's all just like ancient folklore, like handed down over generations that people have been able to mislead and like make it about marketing and shit. It's basically just a way to like fluff the economy now, you know, but it's an enjoyable way.
Yeah.
You know, like that's the thing about the holidays, you know, like yeah, we all know what they're for, but they're fun too, you know. It's time to spend with family and time to reflect on like, you know, what you've done throughout the year and like accomplishments and like, you know, things that you're planning ahead for and looking forward to and I don't know, it's always that time when the weather starts changing and starts cooling down and like
everybody starts coming together. You start talking to like your loved ones again and be like, hey, what do you want to do for Christmas or Thanksgiving or blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So it's like I think that these stories are like the best ghost stories are the ones that are told like around a campfire and with people that you care about, with your friends, with your family. And I think that why they've like gone on for so long is because it's something that people share. And like you said, like how everything's commercialized now, like when you're telling a ghost story between friends, there's no hidden agenda. You're just trying to creep them out. You know what I mean? You're just trying to say weird shit or trying to make somebody laugh or make somebody scream at the end. And it's like the purest form of entertainment. There's no hidden agenda behind it. And I think that it's like storytelling has been around forever, whether it was scary or it was about a hunt or it was about, you know, anything. Everybody's been telling stories around a campfire at nighttime. So I think it's like a primal thing in us. And also something happens when like you go from being a kid being told stories and then you turn into like the storyteller. You know what I mean? and then you get to see people's faces when you tell stories, and like that same childhood wonderment that we all miss and that we all love. Like you can easily create it with a good story.
That's deep, man.
Yeah, it's because I'm fucking high. That's why.
Shit, Jay.
Mm-hmm. And also, I think that it's like an escape for people and like a release. Like people like me, like I love horror movies, and I love all this like wicked, weird, macabre shit. Macabre.
Yeah, I like all the aspects of it.
Yeah.
I like, just the significant changes when you got to decorate for different things, and
Yeah.
and it makes you a part of. Everybody else is doing it. When you do it, it makes you feel a part of instead of left out, and I think that's a big reason. It's like everybody just wants to share the same things, even if it's not with everybody else.
Yeah.
They just want to know they're doing the same things and be able to partake and fucking have your own experience or whatnot. And yeah,
Fucking A.
fucking eggs.
Fucking eggs, bacon. All right, we're going to take a break, and then we're going to bust into some Halloween myths.
Ooh.
Uh-huh. Get ready for that shit, bitch.
Okay.
Now it's time for the Pizza Head Show.
Hey everybody, I'm done trick-or-treating and now I'm gonna go for a stuffed crust pizza at Pizza Hut. Yay!
Not yet, Pizza Head. There's one more place to go.
I don't think anyone's home.
Sure there is.
Whoa, trick-or-treat! Interesting hieroglyphics on this pizza.
Quick, Pizza Head, let's go upstairs.
Hey, who is here anyway?
It's your host, Count Steve.
Oh, nice place, you gotta go. I wanna go to Pizza Hut now!
The Count will be happy to give you a lift.
Hey, put me down! Put me down!
See you next time.
Boo!
Pizza Head.
Ooh, Pizza Head.
That's dope. Joey did.
I got another member berry.
Joey unlocked a member berry for me today before we started recording. He sent me that commercial, and it unlocked this whole thing in my brain that was filled with Pizza Head that I forgot all about.
Yeah.
So thanks. And you got another one?
Yeah, I got another one.
What is it?
Remember when you used to be able to eat at a Pizza Hut?
Ooh, I remember.
Can't now.
Yeah, it's all Pizza Hut Express now?
Yeah, they just deliver.
Yeah. That's whack. I remember the Pizza Hut was like, that was the place to be. That was the pizza place. They had like the right lights and the right booths where you would like sink into the chairs. And they had the big fucking glass things of peppers and cheese.
I remember.
Yeah, I remember. And then that was the first place that you would eat your pizza backwards, right?
Yeah.
They had the cheese stuffed crust, and they were like, eat that shit backwards like a boss. And then you would actually do it in the place. Everybody would.
And they were all shaped the same.
We're all sheep. Yeah,
I like the building was all shaped the same.
The old Pizza Hut in my town is still shaped the same, but it's like a butcher shop now. It's a butcher shop / poker like place, like little casino.
Nice.
Where you can actually gamble. I don't know how they get away with it.
I remember.
I don't think I'm supposed to talk about it. I think that's how they get away with it. I just don't talk about it.
Virtual Fight Club.
So if I have broken knees next week, we know why.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into these myths, and let's see if this guy, whoever the hell he is, thinks that he knows what's true or false about Halloween. And we're really just going to be, we're going to be critiquing his video and letting him know if he got any of these facts right. Because we are Dawn Mega Halloween bosses. Is that true?
Yep.
All right, let's do it.
Lots of kids have been victims of random Halloween candy poisonings. This is one of the most enduring Halloween urban legends, but the statistics don't back it up. While there have been several documented cases in which deaths have initially been blamed on poisoned candy, later investigation proved that the cause was something else entirely, except once. However, even that case wasn't a random poisoning by a stranger. In 1974, a Houston man deliberately poisoned his son with a cyanide-laced pixie sticks. He did hand them out to 4 other children to make it look random, but thankfully they didn't eat them. The father's motivation? Insurance money. He paid for it with a lethal injection in 1984. On the other
Okay, guess what? Right out the
What?
bat, this one's true.
hand, experts say the Halloween urban legend that warns of pins, needles, and razor blades in apples and candy is true enough. It's happened at least a dozen times since 1959. But luckily, someone is hurt only about one time in 10. The worst case involved a woman who required a few stitches. The second Halloween urban legend is that Satanists regularly adopt black cats on Halloween just so they can be sacrificed in horrifying rituals. There is various evidence that suggests animal abuse, particularly targeting black cats, goes up slightly during the Halloween season. However, there is no evidence that such incidents are the results of Satanists, pagans, or other religious groups. Instead, such incidents are generally the result of rebelling teenagers seizing onto an excuse for cruel and wanton behavior. Another common urban
Little future serial killers.
Nice.
legend is that people have been known to really hang themselves when staging fake Halloween hangings to scare people. Hanging is an
Nice.
awful way to die, which is probably why a lot of haunted houses and similar exhibitions display lynchings as part of their scary fare. Sometimes real people take the part of mannequins in the displays, and sometimes they really do hang themselves, through accident or ignorance. The idea is to put a fake noose around the neck that doesn't tighten while hanging from a concealed harness. Occasionally, for some reason, the noose really does tighten, or the harness deploys wrong and the person dies, which is why this urban legend about Halloween is no longer an urban legend at all.
Damn.
Candy, masks, and spooky decorations. That's what Halloween has become.
So that shit has happened for real.
Yeah.
Where some dude fucking puts himself in a harness and fucking fake hangs himself in a tree. The harness doesn't work, and he hangs himself for real. And then everybody just walks by and is like, ooh, that's spooky. And they're like waiting for him to like pop up and like
Except for
scare
in real
him.
life, they don't tell you it probably smells poopy.
Yeah, I guess he probably shit his pants, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, he would shit and piss himself. But what if he knew that he was going to be up there all night, so he wore a diaper, like an adult diaper, so that just so he could like pee. He didn't plan on shitting, but just so he could pee and stuff, and he didn't have to get up and down and ruin the surprise. He was that dedicated to Halloween. Not that he was gross or a psycho. That dedicated to Halloween. Then do you think people would still smell it as much? It would be kind of face level. But it would conceal the smell a little bit.
I don't know.
I don't know. Neither of us have kids, so we have no idea how diapers work.
Yep, I don't know.
I think they just catch it. They don't conceal anything.
Yeah, well, you know who knows?
The shadow knows. I got
Yeah.
to say it that time.
Hey, guess what? We're going to do a commentary of one of those episodes.
Yeah?
Yep.
Guess what?
What?
That sounds fun.
It's coming soon. Maybe this week. Maybe Thursday. We'll do a throwback to the shadow.
The shadow knows.
Yeah.
So, have you heard about America's first serial killer, H.H. Holmes?
H.G. Wells? Yeah.
Yeah, H.G. Wells is who it was. That's right.
Oh, yeah.
I just now, like,
Homer J. Simpson?
I had heard about him, and I like heard the name, and I saw like some sort of documentary that was up somewhere, but I didn't really know that much until today when I researched him and found out that he was crazy as fuck.
He liked to eat people?
Yeah, and he confessed to 27 murders, but his actual body count could be up to 200 because he owned like this hotel or some shit that was dubbed Murder Castle, and he like had nobody knew the layout. The layout was like a labyrinth. There was rooms that didn't have any windows. There was fucking endless hallways and like maze shits. And when he had the people building it, he would hire a contractor, have him build part of the house, and then like, you know, let him go. Hire a new contractor and not let that guy see the first part and then build his new part. So nobody knew the full layout of the house except for him. So he would just ninja around through all these fucking secret passages. And there was multiple chutes that went down to the basement where there was like 2 huge furnaces and a big supply of acid to dissolve bodies and shit. And he would just kill people in the hotel, dump them down the shit, fucking, and then get rid of their bodies in the basement later.
Nice.
And he was crazy as fuck. That's nuts. Imagine fucking just going and staying at some spooky hotel and being like, man, this caretaker's weird. And he's just killed fucking 150 people. And you might be next if he doesn't like you.
You never know, right? Like, the more people there is, the more possibility there is of running into one of these crazy motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because, like, it's just math.
It's math.
It's math.
We talk about math all the time here. And it's math.
You know, and we both hate math, too. Who would have known?
Yep. Hey, you speak for yourself. I love math.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you're right.
Shit.
So, one more scary story on the way out. Did you see any of these videos of this congressional hearing with the FBI that just happened recently?
No.
The other day it happened. It all got swept under the rug because of the debate coverage. But they had this long, like, fucking hearing about the FBI not doing their job when it came to investigating Hillary Clinton. And it's all on YouTube. I urge everyone to go watch it because it was pretty crazy. And Congress was like grilling the FBI and, you know, telling them that they treated this case different. And everyone's supposed to be treated the same under the law, and they know that this was different. And everybody had all these things that they said that was like, yeah, but we did this because that was different. And they were calling them on all kinds of shit, and it was crazy. And nothing's going to happen because of it. And that is a scary story.
That is spooky.
I might have already said too much. We need to stop talking about her.
Ooh.
This might be our last episode.
Ooh.
I'm gonna be the next Michael Savage.
Who's that?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, my friend.
Yeah, well, get ready. I hope everybody's ready.
God, what's gonna happen?
There's gonna be a lot of Halloweenies happening this fucking month, I'm telling you.
Uh-huh, it is. So everybody put on your adult diapers because you're about to shit your fucking pants.
Yep. Every episode. All month long.
Mm-hmm. It's all going to be themed around something wicked, scary, Halloween. So if you are against Halloween, like with your religion, or you don't like it, or you just don't enjoy it, then we'll see you in November.
Better not come to Halloween Town.
Because that's now. That's now until the end of October.
You spell it with 2 eyes.
What?
Halloween.
With 2 eyes? There's no eyes in any of that. You mean 2 eyeballs?
Eyes.
2 eyes. Like the letter I.
Eyes.
Okay. Everybody go hashtag that. Good luck. We got these s'mores here. We're gonna eat some s'mores.
And you can't have any.
Yeah, so, you know, we're not gonna record ourselves eating the s'mores just because that would be rude. But go get yourself some s'mores and eat them in front of a microphone. Get some sort of audio like mixing program for free online. Take our podcast and then add the sample of you eating s'mores at the end. And that's what's going to happen with us. Also, add a campfire sound. I mean, sit near a campfire when you record it.
Yeah.
Shit.
Natural Habitat Recordings.